What's good, podcast world? What's good, YouTube?
Sixers are in trouble. I need a top five.
Man, let's get into best of the week, man. What's good, podcast world? What's good, YouTube? Back for another episode of the Charges to the Game Sports and Sports Betting Podcast, man. Brought to you by the BetUS Sportsbook betting app, man. Like I said, right there at the bottom of the screen, man. Use promo code to the game for that special offer. All the details at the bottom of the description of the show, and Simply 8 vitamin gummies, man. So got them right here. Like I said, more to come on that note, man. But man, Big Z, brother, welcome back, man. It's long time no see, man. I mean, what's how's life, man? What's going on?
Yeah, summer break was good. Enjoying this hot weather.
Man, you look like you got a little tan there. You got a little tan, man. What's going on?
Oh yeah. Enjoy the summer. Headed July been good. Can't believe August right around the corner. Training camp already started. Raiders going to camp this week to open things up. So let's go. Big changes, new beginning. Every team's got hope. That's the best time of the year. Everybody believes they got a shot to win it all.
Yes, sir, man. So welcome back, everybody, man. We are back, like Big Z said, man. So Jay, he is gonna be joining us next show, man. So he's wrapping some stuff up, man. But we're happy to be back, man. We got a crazy show for you guys today. Like I said, if you guys don't follow me, Big Z or Jay on Instagram, I suggest you do. Like I said, all the stuff is at the bottom of the details of the information of the show. But man, like I said, that break was good though. I mean, like, this is a little small talk before we get into it. So we got on tap, we got the AFC East, we got the AFC South, man. But like, you know, a lot of my guys, man, like, yo, what happened to the podcast? They was like, yo, did y'all shut it down? I was like, no, man, we just taking a little break, man. We got families, we got houses, we got to cut the grass, you got, you know, duties, you got women duties, you know what I mean, kid duties, you know, we human too.
Decompress. It's a slow time in the sports world. It's time for everybody to kind of decompress before you hit the gauntlet of the NFL season. And fired up for training camp. Training camp right around the corner.
Yeah, man. Like I said, training camp right around the corner. What is today? July 20th, man. So everybody already knows. Most guys already know. You know, once the mid-July, late July time frame comes around, we're getting ready for the NFL season, man. Like nothing else really matters. NFL and college football. College football actually comes back next month. So next month we're gonna be getting, you know, college football back. You know what I mean? All the big NIL deals, all these new teams going to these new conferences or at least trying to get in there. You know, so I mean, for all the football guys, the guys that I know, and most of the, you know, the big betting guys, college football and NFL is where the money's at. So, you know, if you're new to the show, like I said, just take a look at past and previous shows. Look at our bets. Look at our predictions. A lot of them shits have been right, man. Like, Z, what do you think, man? I mean, we kind of been on spot, you know, on point last year with the bets and stuff like that.
Yeah, especially football season. Football season was very profitable.
Yeah.
If you follow the trends, very profitable. So, things are – but again, like we always say, turn the page. New season, new beginning, new hope for every team. So it's gonna be exciting just to watch preseason. I mean, I already started doing my preseason research, and then that's always, you know, step one is take the Baltimore Ravens in preseason.
Ain't they undefeated or some shit?
28-2 in the last 30.
Wow.
Jim Harbaugh. In the preseason. He loves winning preseason games. So,
hey, there you go. So just take the Ravens. If nothing else, you know, once the game starting preseason next month, just take the Ravens. You know what I mean? It's money well spent. 28-2.
Last 4 seasons? Yeah, Jim Harbaugh loves winning preseason games. And so he says it sets the tone for his season. Yeah. Whereas other teams really don't care.
Yeah, I mean, we'll see how that works out. I mean, Lamar's coming back for the Ravens. Like I said, we're not talking, you know, AFC North this show. Next show, Jay's back. We're talking about AFC North and AFC. What is that? West with Jay and his Raiders.
Look at this. So the real stat with the Ravens. So since 2016, Harbaugh is 20-0 straight up in the preseason, 16-2 ATS in the preseason.
You can't beat that, man.
Since 2016, 20-0. Ravens money line has hit every preseason game. 20-0.
That's good. That's gold information like this. So, I mean, for the people that don't, like I said, write that down. Like, and also, like I said, for the new guys, because we got actually a lot of new guests, man.
Oh, yeah.
And for the guys that have been sending me emails of the brands or the products, stuff like that, just guys in general, man. When I detach, and when we detach, we kind of detach. So, I haven't really been in the mood. I've been talking, too much here and there. But, now we're back, man. We're going to talk those sports bets. We got the guests, man. Like I said, if you're new to the show, check out some of our guests, man. We had a fire guest list. We had Ellis Wims on a few episodes ago, former defensive lineman of the Bucks. We got some more guests this upcoming season, man. We had Hugh Jackson, who's at Grambling State. We had Mon Green from the Packers, Bobby Taylor, who was the cornerback for the Eagles, former players. And we got some more GMs and coaches that actually going to come in, man, both college and NFL. But we're chomping at the bit to get back at it. But let's talk, G. Let's get into this divisional preview, man. So, we'll start with the Miami Dolphins on the AFC East side. So the Miami Dolphins, man, they really are trying to see what Tua is really about. He came on strong at the end of last season, and they made a few key additions. Obviously, they made the big trade for Tyreek Hill, man.
Well, new coaching staff. That's where we start. New coach, new coaching staff, new offense. So that's the beginning for them. So let's
talk about that. So I mean, with the coaching staffs, I want to ask you this, man, because we did have Hugh Jackson on, and he didn't give us too much to talk about on the Brian Flores situation. And obviously, for the people that don't know, this is when Brian Flores was interviewing for the coaching job or something like that, and. And what he asked something, Bill Belichick said, what do you say? He said, like, congratulations or some shit, right?
No, so what happened? They interviewed Brian Daboll and Brian Flores for the Giants head coaching job. Flores hadn't interviewed yet. He was scheduled to interview the next week. And they had interviewed Daboll the week before, already made him the offer before they talked to Flores. And both of them were former assistants for Belichick. So Belichick texts the wrong Brian, congratulations on
his old ass
on getting the job with the Giants, much deserved. And he's like, what do you mean? My interview's next week. And then he was like, sorry to break the news to you. They already gave the job to Brian Daboll. And
wow.
So that was the beginning of everything. And then but as a Steeler fan, it worked out good as he's part of
Steelers.
a great addition. So if you saw how Tomlin broke down how everything happened too. So after he sued the league, he was basically, for lack of a better term, blackballed from everybody. And
well, yeah, that's obvious. You know what I mean? So, I mean, with that situation, Mike T, we already know how Mike T gets down. He brought in, Flores, and Brian Flores he did a great and amazing job with that team. A lot of players were hurt, and he was dealing with a young QB. But back to the information, man. As far as with the Dolphins, man, they re-signed Xavier Howard. They made the trade for Tyreek Hill. Armstead, they signed him from the Saints, the big, huge left tackle, an all-pro, for many years, a massive offensive lineman to help Tua out from his blind side. Well, he's the left tackle, but Tua's left-handed. So a lineman for him. They got a backup QB in Bridgewater. They did trade away Devontae Parker, but they did bring in Hill. So, and then they made a few small moves. Signing was Emmanuel Ugba back with a nice defensive end, edge rusher. They brought in Melvin Ingram, man, from the Chiefs. Melvin still got some gas left in the tank.
People don't realize they were 9-8 last year. They had a winning record with Tua. All the complaints about the Dolphins, and then they were 9-8, winning record. They had a great defense. and then they added speed. I mean, you got to start with Tyreek Hill.
Yeah. Hill.
Yeah.
Yeah, Hill, man, I mean, is a monster, but obviously a wide receiver. And then they also added Mostert, my bad, from the 49ers. Mostert's a speedster, too. So those two guys alone in that hot Miami sun and that heat, man, getting a grip on those guys. But that's going to be interesting because now the Dolphins, I think they're going to, throw the ball a little bit more. But also I think they're not going to, like, air it out. You know what I mean? They did show up the offensive line with, Armstead and everything like that. But now we really got to see what Tua's about. He has a legit receiving core with Waddle. He was a young stud.
Cedric Wilson from the Cowboys.
Wilson and
another speed demon.
Yeah. I forgot he did add him. I mean, he's an absolute beast. I mean, the Cowboys should have did everything within their power to keep him, but you can't pay him big money. All these guys big money.
And then they got the tight end
Kaseki. He's a beast.
Like 6'8".
So
he averaged more than any yards per game. He was the leading yards per game guy in the league last year.
If you're a Dolphins fan, I'll say this: I don't know much about this new head coach. On paper, they're solid. Offense and defense. They brought some players back. Their defense has always been pretty solid and okay. But the problem is they're in this division, man, with the Bills and the Patriots and the Jets. We don't know what the Jets. They're still young, but that's going to be their issue. But I mean, Tua has everything at his disposal. He's a receiver. He has a running back. He has a tight end. One of the best tight ends in the league. For the people that don't know, and Seki is one of the best, maybe a top 10 receiver. Tight end in the league.
Especially in the red zone. I mean, huge target from Penn State, big guy. In the red zone, he's unbelievable. For those who play fantasy, you love him. In the red zone, he's a beautiful target because Tua's accuracy problems, having that big 6'7" frame to just throw it up to.
Yeah, man.
It's gonna be it'll be fun. I mean, just to see. I mean, it's gonna be an adjustment with the new coaching staff, but. Think about the Niners offense last year, how multiple it was, how they didn't ask Jimmy G to do too much, just run the offense and win games. And so that's what they're going to ask Tua to do. So we'll see.
Yeah. Tua, I think what I think is going to happen is they might struggle kind of a little bit early and then they might catch on a little bit later. That's what happens for most of the younger QBs. Get the jitters out and stuff like that. He's going to be excited with Hills and like, hey, just throw me the ball. Let's go get it. They're going to be trying to air it out to Waddle and those guys. And then I think they're going to start running the ball more. With Mostert, he's an absolute speedster. And then, like I said, they bolstered their offensive line. They brought in, a multiple-year Pro Bowl and Connor Williams from the Cowboys. That was another headed piece. A former first-round pick and a starter across multiple positions on a good team in the Cowboys for multiple years. Now he's coming over. He's probably going to be starting for the Dolphins. In the defense, you add Melvin Ingram, Z from your Steelers. What? No, he played for you guys for a little bit, but then he went to the Chiefs, right?
Yeah, he went to the Chiefs.
Yeah. He balled out. He actually balled out a little bit, But we'll see what that ultimately what happens.
Sony Michel, solid veteran running back. Chase Edmonds, solid veteran running back. A sneaky signing was Teddy Bridgewater, who's a backup. A pro's pro as the backup. Teddy covered the spread. Bridgewater always covered the spread. Bridgewater. So if Tua slips up, Teddy covered the spread will come in. He's back home in Miami, and that you've got somebody who's steady Teddy, and so it won't do anything spectacular, but won't blow it for you either. So.
Yeah, man. So I guess we'll close up with the Dolphins, man. So Z, they got the Dolphins, man. Their win-loss total at 8.5. 8.5 on the year, and I think their schedule goes to the tune of. Let me look at it. So their week 1 matchup is like they played New England, which is a tough matchup. They play Baltimore, who's always tough. Bills. Then they play Cincinnati. Then they get a little weaker with like teams like the Jets, Vikings. They play your Steelers, Detroit, Chicago. Then in week 10 they play Cleveland.
That's going to be a crazy game with the Flores revenge.
Yeah. Oh, I forgot all about that. So where's that game played at? Actually, let me see where is that played at, because that's going to be a very interesting matchup. Like you said, man. So
So it's Sunday night game at Miami.
Yeah, it's in Miami. Yeah, 8:20 kickoff. So, I mean, what do you think about the 8.5, man? So, you think the Dolphins 8.5 wins in that tough division with these new added pieces, rookie head coach?
It's gonna be tough. It's gonna be tough. I mean, so last year they were in what? They won 9 games last year.
Mm-hmm.
So it's gonna come down to Tua. If Tua doesn't turn the ball over, if he stays healthy, if they run the ball, they got a really solid defense. They got a shot. But if Tua turns the ball over, fumbles, they don't have a shot because that, I mean, just in division, everybody's improved. I mean, the Bills are a juggernaut, and then you got the Patriots. 2 games with the Patriots, 2 games with the Bills. That's tough.
Hey, you know what they're saying with the Patriots? And we'll get to that. I think the Patriots are next on our list. They're saying the Patriots really weren't legit last year. That's what people are saying. We'll talk about it when they're thinking the Dolphins are going to take over that second spot, and the Patriots are going to fall back big this year. But for me, man, I'll say this: the Dolphins, similar to what you say, I hate to, kind of piggyback, but I mean, Tua has to really show me something. He did come on strong late in the season last year. Yeah. I will say this: I'll take over the 8.5 of the Miami Dolphins. I honestly really do think that they can surpass New England this year as that second team, behind Buffalo. I just think Buffalo, similar to last season, when I said the Rams were going to win the Super Bowl, like I said it, the beginning of last season. I think the Bills, I'm a Bucs fan for the people that don't know, I think the Bills probably going to win the Super Bowl this year. Kansas City's not going to be in their way this year. The Hill's going. You don't have to worry about that headache. You just triple cover Kelsey. And just, they're probably going to blow those guys up bigly. But
advantages for Miami, though. Early in the season, in the hot sun in Miami.
Condition.
I mean, week 1, they got New England in Miami. So
condition.
They love having New England when it's hot in Miami.
Yeah. Anybody would. All the hot weather teams, even Tampa. I mean, it's easy to get there because, I mean, they're practicing in the hot sun. These fair weather teams.
We'll know about them first quarter of the season. I mean, they're scheduled Patriots, Ravens, Bills, Bengals. Yeah. That's their first 4 games. So they could go 0-4 to start the year. I mean,
I'll say this. I think they'll find a way to go either 1-3 or 2. And I think they'll get hot. Like I said, that back half after those 4 games, all of those are wins for me. All of those are wins up until week 10 when they play like Cleveland or something.
The two road games are Ravens and Bengals.
Yeah.
And they start off with Patriots and Bills at home.
Yeah. So moving on, man.
That is not an easy. We'll know about them the first month. I mean, first month will tell their story.
So, you got them under the 8.5. I got them over, man. But, I mean, moving on, let's talk a little bit about this Jets team. So, this Jets team, the young squad, I mean, the head coach is in his, second year? Yeah. Zach Wilson back at the helm, young quarterback, showed flashes of not greatness, but, I guess, maybe getting better. They bolstered some of the positions, some of their key additions. And they did lose a big part of their safety, man. They lost Marcus May to the Saints. Marcus May is a really good safety, but they did add CJ, the tight end from the Bengals. He came on strong for him, so that gives Zach a stable threat at the tight end position. They brought in Laken Tomlinson, a starter from the 49ers, who's a guard. Jared Davis, a linebacker, they lost. Keelan Cole, they lost to the Raiders. Jamison Crowder, they lost to the Bills. Morgan Moses, they lost to they lost some decent pieces, but they didn't really, like I said, they got a young team, to be honest. They just got a young team of guys that they're trying to ultimately see. Oh, they did give the big contract to our former safety, the Buccaneers. I'm talking about Jordan Whitehead. So Jordan Whitehead got paid. I mean, he's a hard nose, knock your helmet off hitting safety. I really wish the Buccaneers could have kept him, but he was looking for the big money. But what do you think about the Jets last season, man? I mean, obviously they're a young squad, but heading into this season.
So, I mean, again, another team where it comes down to the quarterback. So this is the Zach Wilson season. Year 2, top pick, New York. They drafted receiver in the first round. So that helps. They yes, I mean they got him weapons. They signed offensive linemen, signed Laken Tomlinson, vet. So they are, it's going to come down to the quarterback. That's, I mean, typical Jets.
Yeah, I'm not. To be honest, I'm not. I just don't like this head coach, man. I don't have a lot of faith. I never liked the signing from the beginning. He's a defensive minded head coach. I don't really see a lot of progress. I see a lot of Zach Wilson kind of trying to run around, and I don't even know who the offensive coordinator. I actually got to look and see who the offensive coordinator is, because I mean, with Zach, man, he's going to need some guy that's going to be able to slow things down for him. They don't need to be spreading the ball out, 3 or 4 wide. Get some play action going. They're going to have to run the ball a little bit so that Zach can have some time. And this offensive line is not very good with the Jets still, man. I mean, their offensive line is one of the worst in the league, up there with like the Giants, and then with like your guys. You know what I mean?
So they signed, or their offensive coordinator, Mike LaFleur, so the brother of the Green Bay head coach. So,
I don't know, but
it makes sense coming from San Francisco. So he brought.
Yeah. I ain't gonna lie. I ain't gonna talk too long on the Jets, man. But I mean, for the Jets, let's see what their win-loss total is for the season. Let's see. New York Jets, 5.5, 5.5, and I'm sitting there looking at the Jets schedule. Let me take a look here. Well, I mean, their division alone is a gauntlet, because I mean, you're probably not gonna beat the Patriots. You're probably not gonna beat the Bills. You're probably not going to beat the Dolphins. So when you're playing teams like that, and then, week 1, they play Baltimore. You know what I mean? They play Cleveland. And then they play Cincinnati. You know what I mean? Hold on, man. This makes no sense. Z, check this out. So the Jets schedule, they play the Ravens, who are a good team. They play the Browns. They play Cincinnati, and they play you guys. That's the whole AFC North division, and I can see the only winnable game is you guys, but I definitely think you guys are going to beat them. And then they play the Dolphins, they play Green Bay.
Yeah,
oh my god, this might be one of the bets of the year right here. The Jets under 5.5 wins. Like I'm scrolling right now. If you look at the Jets schedule,
so will they win it? Will they win a game before the bye?
Brother, I don't think so. I'll look at the only winnable games on the Jets schedule from my perspective is Jacksonville, possibly Detroit. I don't even think they can beat you guys.
Not at Pittsburgh. No way.
Oh, I don't even, like I said, I see maybe 3 wins max. Seattle.
Bears at home.
I don't even think they can beat the Bears. The Jets, Jags, Seahawks, and I don't even think they're going to beat the Bears.
Seahawks is at Seattle. I don't see that.
I don't see it. They're 5.5. If you're on, like I said, get you a BetUS Sportsbook account, promo code to the game, and put it in right now, man. I mean, Jets under 5.5 wins. Put some money on that, man. I love that bet. Looking at that schedule, I don't see how. They play teams like Denver. Minnesota is going to be a lot better this year. They're a sneaky team. I don't even see that. Like I said, the division. Division. I get it. Is a kind of you play each other twice a year. I get, but I don't even see that happen. I don't see how. So yeah, under the 5.5 for me. What you got, man?
Oh yeah, I'm straight under. That schedule.
I mean, simple enough, man. If you're a Jets fan, man, I mean, we got to see what you guys are about. I do like the young receiving core, though, for those guys. But moving on, man, let's talk a little bit about this Patriots squad, man. So the Patriots, obviously, last year, a shocking season. Rookie QB last season, and Mac Jones, man, had a very, very, very solid season. Led those boys to the playoffs. Ultimately lost. They had some really highlighting victories on the season. He played really well, man. I mean, before we get into the season stuff, what was your opinion of Mac Jones and how he performed last season?
He did well. I mean, he did really well.
That was incredible, right?
And they were dead on. The most ready to start right off the bat was Mac Jones from the rookies.
I'll say this, man. I mean,
and then the crazy thing is San Francisco, the head coach wanted Mac Jones, front office wanted Trey Lance. So we'll see this year.
But this is where I think this is the season where I think Mac Jones is going to kind of decline because wasn't Josh McDaniels? He was the offensive coordinator. He's gone. He's gone. He's the head coach in where is he at now?
Denver.
He's in Denver. Yeah. He's in Denver now.
No. Used to be in Denver. He's with the Raiders.
Okay, so he's with the Raiders.
Yeah, he's with the Raiders.
Yeah, so he lost his offensive coordinator, his guy who ran, very favorable plays for him, and he knows how to coach in the NFL and he knows how to run an offense. So losing that huge piece, in my opinion, is enough for the Dolphins to kind of sneak up. But I mean, as far as for the Patriots, they did sign back Devin McCourty to safety. They brought in, like I said, from the Dolphins that trade. An in-division trade for Devontae Parker. I guess Bill's seen enough of him to bring him in. Shaq Mason, man. They trade Buccaneers. Thank you, God. The huge right guard, the Bucs got him. He's going. Kyle Van Noy's going to the Chargers. They signed Hunter Anderson, the edge player, back. They did let J.C. Jackson go, but the thing about the Patriots, they always got really good corners. And then they got another guy who's a veteran, Terrence Mitchell, at corner. They brought in Jabril Peppers, who's a really, really good young safety, younger safety. He's not like a rookie or nothing for the people that know. But yeah, ultimately, I mean, the Patriots are going to do what they do. I mean, what is your opinion on them? This upcoming season, man? What do you think?
So Mac Jones' second season should be solid. I like adding Devontae Parker because that's a legit receiver. They struggle. They can't draft. They never draft receivers in New England. They can't find a receiver at all, and so they have to bring a receiver from outside. Schedule is interesting because they it's still having to. Bill always beats up on the Jets twice, and then the Dolphins, they usually split with them. And then they find a way to make the playoffs. So it's going to be, again, come down second year Mac Jones. I think he's going to be solid. Defense is always solid with New England. Yeah. I think it's going to be a step back, though. I don't see them as a contender for anything in the playoffs. I don't.
Yeah, I don't think a lot of people do. I do like the Devontae Parker sign, giving them a legit number one target at receiver, somebody who can actually beat man-to-man and take on your best. Devontae Parker is a really, really good number one receiver. I know he might not, he's not, top tier, like he's top 10 or even maybe, he might be top 15 receivers in the league, something like that. But he doesn't get a lot of love.
Because he didn't have a quarterback.
Yeah, he's very athletic. He'll definitely bake you. As long as he has somebody to throw him the goddamn ball. So I think Mac Jones, with him just be doing what he needs to do, and they have a pretty decent tight end. But you kind of just said it with their schedule, and then just in my opinion, I think teams are going to catch on with that. He did bring in Mac Wilson, the linebacker, but Patriots are always going to play defense. That's the one thing about them. But their win-loss total this year, Z, man, at 8.5. So let me see. We got to dissect this.
I think they go over because I trust Bill.
Dolphins,
but the
Patriots.
It's not an easy start to the season. When you look at again another AFC East team, when you start at Miami in the heat, anything can happen. Division game. Miami's usually good that first couple of weeks in the 90 degrees in Miami. It comes down to conditioning. And then you're going at Pittsburgh, Baltimore, at the Packers. So your next 3 games, 2 road games at Pittsburgh, at Green Bay, and you got Baltimore at home.
Write this down, fellas. So I'm gonna go through the list. Like I said, this is just raced off the top of my head. But like I said, just look at my stuff from last season. Man. Week 1 they play Miami. That's a toss-up game. Pittsburgh, possibly a toss-up game. Baltimore, I think that's an L.
at Pittsburgh. At New England, I'd take New England. They always win. They always beat the Steelers at home.
Yeah,
But
that's a
since
toss-up game.
Since it's at Pittsburgh, I don't know.
In my opinion, that's a toss-up game. But Baltimore, that's an L. Green Bay, that's an L. Detroit, they probably beat them. Cleveland, an L. Chicago, I think they're going to have struggle with Chicago on Monday night. The Jets, they probably win. Then they play teams like the Colts. The Colts are going to be a juggernaut. We're going to get to that today. They play the Jets again. Minnesota's an L. The Bills are an L. Arizona's an L. The Las Vegas Raiders is an L. Cincinnati, Miami, and Buffalo. That is the New England Patriots schedule with this upcoming season. And I only see, 4 or 5, 5 or 6 wins, something like that. And that's just my opinion, man. I think these teams are going to catch up to, they're going to stack the odds.
I don't see them as a playoff team.
Yeah, I mean, I that's, and they gave them 8.5.
Yeah,
yeah. I mean, write that down, please, for the bettors out there, man. Patriots under 8.5.
And then they play the Browns week 6. Per the reports, Deshaun may be back. So Deshaun Watson may be the quarterback by week 6 when they play Cleveland.
Yeah, give me. And the thing is, even if he didn't play, I'm trusting who's their backup. Like Jacoby Brissett. Isn't their backup?
Yeah, it's Jacoby Brissett and Josh Dobbs, but it's going to be Brissett.
Yeah, it's going to be Brissett.
Who knows the Patriots better than Brissett?
That's what I'm saying. And the thing is, I think Brissett, he'll do that. Browns defense is incredible. So, I'm not really worrying about that. But yeah, definitely I love this bet with the Patriots under that win-loss total of that 8.5, man. So there's 2 star bets. Jets and Patriots both under. So start those and dissect them. We'll talk a little bit more in detail about that later. But that's kind of the short and skinny on it, man. But moving on, man, for the last team in this division, man, we'll talk a little bit about this Bills squad, man, before we move on to the AFC South, man. So the Buffalo Bills, man.
Clear favorites.
Man, the Bills are the sexy Super Bowl team right now, like, the Rams were last year. And I hate to say it, it's kind of looking like it, man. The Bills got a lot of talent. And then they brought in, like, their additions, man. Let me go to their additions. They brought in Von Miller, a Hall of Fame edge rusher from the Rams, that is coming fresh off a Super Bowl. He's probably going to ultimately end up winning another one. They gave Diggs the big contract. This is an underrated signing, Big Z. Roger Scaffold, the guard from Tennessee that led King Henry to all those 1,000-yard rushing seasons. He's a massive offensive lineman. He clears the path. So now he's going to be blocking for those running backs. They drafted Delvin Cook's little brother, him, and then they got the other young running back. Now who else did they bring? Let's see here.
I like the Crowder signing from the Jets. That's a sneaky slot receiver.
Oh yeah, Jamison Crowder.
Yeah, so that's an interesting one.
He's taking over. He's like a younger. What's the little white guy? He used to run those little younger Beasley. Younger, faster, Cole Beasley. He's better. He has really good hands. He's always going to be open. He's not Hunter Winthrow, but he's like that. Hunter Winthrow is a beast. But anyway, I mean, as far as
who was the receiver who broke all the records? What was it Gabe Davis in the playoffs? 300 yards.
Boy's a beast. Like, then the receiver from UCF. Yeah. I think I read an article. He put on a little weight. So he's already big, so it's like he's just gonna box people out, you know what I mean, and just go up and get the ball. And Josh Allen's just gonna do what he does. So the Bills, I mean, they brought in Case Keenum. He's a backup. One of the guys, like I said, Crowder. They brought in the Daquan Jones. He's an interior defensive lineman from the Panthers. He's pretty solid. They brought in OJ Howard from the Bucks. I will say this, because a lot of people are saying, OJ Howard's a former first-round pick and all of this and that. He might work out better there. I don't know, but that guy has to learn how to catch the ball, learn to get in his playbook, because he wasn't able to, do pretty much anything for the Bucks, man.
I mean, they're going to be, 13 seconds away from the Super Bowl. That's a motivated team. That is going to be a motivated
That was one heck of a game, man. That was one heck of a game. They just like, that's just incredible to me. Like, how do you? I understand it's Tyreek Hill. I get it. But
13 seconds.
But the thing is, Hill's gone now. You can't come up with
saying the motivation of Buffalo for this season. That is going to be. They're going to no slow starts because last year they started slow and lost to Pittsburgh week 1.
Yeah.
So no slow start this year for that team. That team is going to be motivated.
Buffalo. I'm not even. Like I said, Buffalo is going to be one heck of a team to watch this year. I think they're going to have a lot of fun. They're going to blow a lot of people out. They have the Buffalo Bills total at 11.5. Last season it was 11. 11.5, man. On a loaded team with adding Von Miller and Roger Scaffold. Those two pieces alone, give me 11.5 to over, man. The Bills, 11.5 with the Patriots. With Mac Jones in the second season, Josh McDaniels going to the offensive coordinator, I think they just smashed through the Patriots twice. I don't think the Dolphins got anything for them. The Jets don't have shit for them. So they can go winless. They can go, 6-0 in the division. That's just my opinion on it.
Week 1, they're at the Rams, which is it was the marquee game.
I ain't gonna lie to you. I think the Rams, Aaron Donald's my boy. You know that. Buffalo got something for them. Buffalo gonna show their ass up because they fresh off their win. The boys out there, they happy they won the Super Bowl. I get it. Buffalo's hungry, man. The game is in LA?
In LA, Sunday night.
They might.
Week 1.
They might beat these boys by 2 touchdowns or something like that. I'm telling you, Buffalo might mess around and shock the world and make the Rams look really shaky week 1. I'm telling you, they're hungry.
That's gonna be a fun game. That's gonna be a fun way to start the season.
It is, man. So what do you got with the win-loss total at, Z? With 11.5, man.
Ooh.
It's 18 games now, an extra game. I didn't even look at their schedule. I don't even really care. I don't even really care who but like that division, I just don't think.
I see over. They got some. I mean, they played the Bears.
Over, right?
Yeah. They played the Bears, Jets twice. They played the Lions. I mean,
and then their division, like I said, do you really think the Patriots are going to beat them this year without the offensive coordinator?
See, the tough thing for AFC East, they got the AFC North as their out of division group, and you're going against Cleveland, Cincinnati, and Baltimore. Legit quarterbacks, legit teams coming back.
Do you know what's going to happen? That defense is going to get after them, though.
Yeah, and then
Buffalo defense.
Pittsburgh is a question mark. They got a defense, but Trubisky is going to be the question mark. So it's unknown. We'll know more. Pittsburgh, I'll say, wait and see. We don't know. But the other 3 teams, they got, Pro Bowl quarterbacks.
So I look at this. That the AFC North doesn't even scare me. Like, they got something for Lamar. They got something for Burrow. We saw what the offensive line looked like in the Super Bowl, and and everything like that. And then
they play Cleveland week 11, so Deshaun Watson will be there.
And I'm not even worried about Cleveland with Deshaun. Like, Buffalo is just such a great, well-balanced team, and they're hungry. With the emergence of Gabe Davis, and you got Diggs on the other side, you got the speedster tight end in Crawford. Then you got another speed tight end who can't catch, but maybe he can catch now, and OJ Howard. And then you bring in Jamison Crowder. You bring in Von Miller. You got a young defensive tackle with Ed Oliver, and you got those young linebacking core and those corners with Tre'Davious White and Micah Hyde at safety. The Bills are going to be a problem, man.
They have most of their tough games at home, so that is another thing. They got the Packers at home, they got Baltimore at home, they got Cleveland at home, they got Pittsburgh at home.
Yeah, Bills fans, you're gonna have some fun this year too.
Now, they do go back. They go back to Kansas City. So that's gonna be a fun game.
Oh, they can't wait. They can't wait. You know, they're gonna put on a show without Hill. Oh man,
so that's put on a show. They're two tough road games at LA and at Kansas City.
Yeah, so I mean, I definitely. Well, we both got the over on that, man. For the Bills, but moving on, that wraps up the AFC East, man. So moving on with the AFC South, Z. Not gonna spend long on them, but the Houston shitty Texans. Obviously, you know, they traded Deshaun Watson. They got some picks. They brought it back
without even looking at it under whatever that number is under.
Let me look at Leah. Let me see what their was it Houston Texans? 4.5. 4.5. Davis Mills did play well last year. I'll give them that, but they are trash. They are trash. You know, like I said, some of their additions were guys like, you know, what did they bring? Jerry Hughes, he's an old veteran, you know, edge rusher. You know, they also brought Mario and Addison, an edge from the Bills. They lost Tyrod Taylor, who was a backup for him. AJ Cannon, who's a guard, I guess he might start for the Texans. You know, they brought some, you know, re-signed some of those guys. The Texans, like I said, I mean, yeah. And what is their win-loss total again?
I think it's
4.5. 4.5.
Under.
I would have to look at their schedule again, but yeah, I mean, based off of what I know, you know, what I mean, just seeing the Texans, and you know, are you really gonna trust Davis Mills to win you games consistently? Like I said, he did play well last year. I'll give him that. You know, he's a young, promising piece, but you know, who does he have around him? I mean, they did bring back Brandon Cooks, who's a speedster wide receiver. I just don't think they have enough. They don't have an offensive line. They can't block for the guy. That's for damn sure. So it's like, what are you going to do? You know? So
I don't see it.
Yeah, I'm not going to spend long on them. Like I said, Texans under. You know what I mean? Texans under. Then we move on to another pretty much team that's young and they're trying to find their way, who went through a lot of turmoil last year in the Jacksonville Jaguars. So we all know what happened with, you know, with Urban Meyer and all of that shit that transpired last year. Now they have a new head coach, you know, with Trevor Lawrence in his, second season. Played okay. You know,
I mean, I like the hire at Doug Peterson. I mean, he won a Super Bowl. So that
He did. I mean, but I think that Eagles team was
for Trevor Lawrence, that's a quarterback's coach. Comparison to go from Urban Meyer to a pro's pro.
Yeah, they have some, and I'll say this about the Jags. The Jags spent money on some guys. They overpaid sometimes. Brandon Sheriff, they did bring in. He's a really Pro Bowl since day one guard from the Commanders. Don't get me started there. They let Miles Jack go. We just talked about it before the show. He's with your Steelers. Yeah. They signed Cam Robinson. They franchise tagged him. Andrew Norwell, they let him go. He's actually with the Commanders now. They brought in Darius Williams, the corner. They spent money on him, man. So cornerback him. They brought in Evan Ingram, the tight end from the Giants. Another guy who maybe can, re-engage his career. He dropped the ball a lot when he was in New York.
Christian Kirk overpaid.
Let's talk about that one, because that was the one I was going to get to. So he kind of fucked the market up big time with that one, man. Because everybody was like,
that's what started it, the wide receiver crazy market, thanks to the Jags.
Christian Kirk, they paid him like number one receiver money, and he's far from it. Far from it. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know what the Jags are thinking. Maybe they just liked the piece. They had money to spend. Maybe they see something in the guy. I don't see. I know he's a pretty solid wide receiver. I'll say that. He's not even like, he's like a third tier receiver.
Well, you got to think of Doug Peterson. So think of Deshaun Watson. I mean, not Deshaun Watson.
Deshaun Jackson.
Yeah.
Deep threat. He has that type of speed though. Deshaun was incredibly explosive.
So that's what he likes. He needs his deep threat. Trevor Lawrence has the arm. Let's go. And so they had to overpay, but when you're Jacksonville, you got to do it.
Yeah, I mean the Jags. That's what they did with that. They did let DJ Chark go, so he's with the Lions. But man, I mean, if you're a Jags fan, I mean, what do you want us to say about it? If you're a Jacksonville Jaguars fan, your win-loss total is 6.5. It was 3 last year. I mean, like he did add some pieces. I like some of the pieces with the offensive line for sure.
Zay Jones from the Raiders, another speed receiver.
Yeah, I mean their schedule. I'll say this: so they play the Commanders. They can beat the Commanders. The Colts, they're going to lose. They play the Chargers, Philadelphia, Texans, Giants. Man, the Lions again. I mean, 6.5. When they play teams like the Jets, the Giants, Detroit. Yeah, I mean they play the Texans. It's possible. But they're gonna have to win all those games.
And then the Colts. Remember, they beat the Colts to end the season. The greatest win of the year.
Oh yeah, that was Carson Wentz though. Carson Wentz is on ass. Oh my God! I know a Colts fan right now. Big D, shout out to you, man. I know you happy as hell. You got Matt Ryan, brother, and me too, because they sleeping on him. They sleeping on our boys because I say our boys because you're actual Colts fans, and I'm going wherever the money goes. So we're gonna get this money with the Colts this season, and I'm gonna blow them up last year like I did with the Tennessee Titans. That payoff is nice. But I mean, we'll close out with the Jags with the 6.5. I'll say under right now. Z, what you got?
Ooh. Yeah, I'm going through their schedule. It's not easy. I mean, and then when I look at the back-to-back quarterbacks they play, I mean, they have a stretch where they play Raiders, Chiefs, Ravens, and then Broncos is in there. So you got Russell Wilson, Derek Carr, Mahomes, and Lamar Jackson. 4 games in a row. Wow. That's not a good stretch.
Definitely the under for me. What, 6.5? I won't even see 6.
I don't see that.
Yeah, 6.5. Yeah, give me the under on that with the Jags, man. And then 2 teams left, man, ladies and gentlemen. So we'll start with this Colts team, man. So first of all, I'll say this. I'm very, very excited this season for this Indianapolis Colts team. This is the team, ladies and gentlemen. This is the team. This is the team that you've saved your hard-earned cash. When I post on Instagram, I hope you weren't blowing your money all year at these little after-hour spots. This is what I'm talking about. You take every last dime. You even take out a loan like my man. This is what you say, and you bet the over on the Indianapolis Colts. It's only 9.5. I don't see how. 9.5. And they have a Hall of Fame quarterback now in Matt Ryan. Matt Ryan, and this is easy for. I'll say this because I won't talk too long, but I do got to say this. With me being in the NFC South, and any Bucs fan will let you know, those wins against the Falcons were not due to Matt Ryan not going up there and doing his thing, because he scorched the fuck out of us. We did cause a few turnovers and stuff. He did throw some picks, but he was heating our ass up. Okay, throwing darts. That offensive line was just absolute. It was horrible. And Z, you already know what offensive line what means, because you being a Steelers fan, that means a lot, man. Yeah. Matt Ryan is not mobile at all. You know what I mean? Like at all. He didn't have time to throw at all. It was like literally as soon as he says hike, he got the ball. I was like, oh shit.
And then
what I mean?
And now you give him Jonathan Taylor.
Now you give him Jonathan Taylor. You give him. And arguably the best offensive line in the league. He has the best offensive lineman in the league in Quentin Nelson, who's an absolute beast. And then you got, they brought in a young receiver. And then they got Pittman still, and they still got some really good tight ends.
Paris Campbell from Ohio State.
Man, oh my God. Let me get to their additions real quick, and then I'll let you chime in. So they let Wentz the bum go. He's with the Commanders now. So Commanders, I don't know what you guys are doing, man. But they brought in Matt Ryan. They brought in Stephon Gilmore. A Hall of Fame, possibly a Hall of Fame cornerback. On the Panthers, it was kind of a bad just the bad addition. You know, it didn't work out either way. They brought in Yannick Ngakoue, who's an edge, who's, you know, a guy who's going to get after you on the edge. They brought in Nick Foles, who's a serviceable, I guess, backup and, you know, a mentor possibly.
I mean, the coach, he's close with the coach, so he's there to coach, teach the offense.
Bro, they brought in some more running back help in Philip Lindsay, who's an absolute speedster. I can't remember. Is Marlon Mack still there? I think Marlon Mack's. No, he's gone. He's with the Texans.
Yeah,
he's with the Texans now. They didn't really lose much. They brought in Brandon King from the Patriots, who's a really good linebacker, where they really needed help in the middle. They brought in Rodney McLeod, who's a veteran safety. Dennis Kelly from the Packers. I mean, he's a decent lineman. Oh my God. They didn't fuck this shit up. But yo, you guys better go ahead and bet that money, man, before this shit goes up. I'm just letting you know that right now. It's as simple as that.
And then week 8, they play Washington. So they get to face Carson.
Bro, and this is the thing. I didn't even look at their schedule yet. I'm about to pull up their schedule right now. And we're going to look at game by – because the Colts, I'm telling you, a lot of people are sleeping on him because they're like, yo, Matt Ryan's washed. He's washed. He's old. You know, look what he did in Atlanta last year. They're basically what Matt Ryan did last year with no offensive line, no real outside receiving help, and then –
But look at his favorite. The first 2 games are Houston, Jacksonville. So, I mean, they get to ease Matt Ryan in with 2 easy wins.
Bro, they play Houston, Jacksonville week 1 and 2. They play Kansas City. I think they're gonna shock Kansas City. They play Tennessee, a team that lost Roger Scaffold. You know, I think that's gonna really hurt Tennessee. And then they really exposed Tannehill now. Denver, winnable game. Jacksonville again. The Titans again. The Commanders. New England, they're probably gonna beat. Vegas. You know, well, Vegas gonna be hot. They're gonna be a problem. Philly, who's much improved. The Steelers, Dallas. You know, that could be an interesting game. Minnesota, interesting game. Oh yeah. I'm all over this.
The Steeler game is at Indy, and so the difference. Indy never wins in Pittsburgh, but at home they can beat the Steelers. So that's a W from my perspective for them.
I'm all over this Colts. How do you feel about it? I want to know. Like I said, I like the Colts with Matt Ryan. I like Matt Ryan, but look.
No, yeah, that's the key. I mean, it's the coach. I mean, dumping Carson Wentz after 1 year is you know, is it panic or is it being aggressive?
He's a bum. Like Carson Wentz is horrible.
But that was the hand-picked quarterback by the coach. They gave up all those first-round picks for
Carson.
Yeah, to Philly.
But that's just like, you know, it's like the lesser, like the evil, you know. Like, you know, okay, he's crazy a little bit, but I worked with him in the past. But now, like, you got the opportunity to get a Hall of Famer in Matt Ryan with the offensive line. Like Carson Wentz,
and an adult. I mean, Matt Ryan is a pro's pro.
I'll say this about Carson Wentz. They had one game. All they had to do was win and get in. And they couldn't even do that against Jacksonville. Against Jacksonville. He can't even beat. He threw 4 picks.
It was beautiful. Absolutely
4 picks.
beautiful.
Did he throw like a pick 6 or some shit? Like, I'm sitting there watching the game. I'm like, yo, if I'm a Colts fan, and my boy D, I know he was just like, yo, this guy has got to go.
Could you
know what I mean?
Look, imagine my view. I'm at the Ravens.
Oh, remember? Hey, you got to tell the story, boy.
I'm watching that the Steelers beat the Ravens in Baltimore, and they're giving us updates. So Steelers need to win, and they needed the Colts to lose, and they needed the Raiders to win to make the playoffs. And so Raiders was the night game. So Steelers are beating Baltimore. It was a beautiful, great game. And they keep showing every time Jacksonville scored, they show the replay in the Baltimore Stadium. I'm going more crazy over Trevor Lawrence going nuts over Indianapolis. That's unbelievable. And it's just like the gift. Anything is possible.
Yeah.
And yes, that's. Yeah, I still can't believe they lost that game. I cannot believe they lost.
Yeah, I can believe it. It's Carson Wentz. That's all you can say is Carson Wentz. Carson Wentz. The dude threw 4 picks. And a game all you had to do was just beat the Jacksonville Jaguars and you go to the playoffs. You can't even do that.
Still got the number 1 pick in the draft after winning that last.
They weren't even trying to win. They weren't even trying. And you lost. That's ridiculous. Man. A team that, the coach, sitting there, I don't even want to talk about it, but it's just crazy.
He was already fired, so it was half a coaching staff.
Yeah. So it's just ridiculous. So that's the end of that, man. I give me the over. that's the bet of the year for me. Just like the Titans were last year. And it's ironically enough, the Titans this year Titans are the last team on our list. So Titans, Derrick Henry got hurt.
Derrick Henry's health is going to be the key. If he's healthy, they got a shot. If he's not healthy, Tannehill is not a quarterback.
He's bro. I'll say this: Derrick Henry's incredible. He made Ryan Tannehill. I'm gonna keep saying this every fucking week. He made Ryan Tannehill an MVP candidate. That one year was a few years ago.
Yep.
An MVP, Ryan Tannehill, the same guy. Playoff game, wild card weekend. Throws a pick on the first fucking play of the game.
Got him a huge $130 million contract.
Ryan Tannehill, the same guy who finds a way to lose the game when his defense sacks young Joe Burrow 8 times. And Jeffrey Simmons looked like Aaron Donald.
First play of the game, interception. I was like, oh no.
Oh my God, this guy, Ryan Tannehill. I was listening. I was checking out Tennessee Sports Talk Radio. They're trying to find a way for this guy to get the hell out of here because they know if you look at the Titans, that was their last season was their best shot
at home field advantage. Derrick Henry coming back, and you have a bummer quarterback.
If you look at the film, I'm gonna try to get a NFL aficionado on. If you look at the film, because you guys ain't gonna believe me. If you look at they stacked the fucking box against Derrick Henry like something you've never seen in your life, like you were playing against Walter Payton or Jim Brown or some shit.
And this guy defense is so good too in Tennessee. Their defense is balling. That defense,
and he couldn't find an open guy at all. That's ridiculous. So, if you're a Titan fan, I'm sorry because I really like the Titans, but you lost your best receiver. He's gone. Julio Jones is not on any team right now. You brought in Robert Woods, okay, but he's coming off an injury, okay? Roger Scaffold is going. Pro Bowl right guard is with the Bills now. You brought in Austin Hooper.
A.J. Brown. A.J. Brown is a huge – replace him with a rookie.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. They lost their best receiver. Jaylen Brown, their inside linebacker, who's a huge piece, is going. He's going with the Raiders. We're going to get to them next episode when we talk about that division. They lost some key pieces, man, and they really didn't fill them with anything. A.J. Brown is gone, like we talked about. Man, I don't know what else to tell you guys. Titans, I got to see what they're probably going to be under on the win-loss total. To be honest, I don't really see how. Let me see what the win-loss total is. Let's see. Tennessee 9.5. 9.5 wins, Z. Tennessee Titans, man. What do you got on that one?
What's the schedule look like? Hold on.
Let me try to pull them up. Tennessee Titans. To be honest, that division might be enough to knock them out. Well, no, actually, no, the division's trash. I forgot they got Houston and
Houston, Jacksonville.
Yeah,
that's why they pad their stats. Four.
That's the only
4 wins before the season starts.
Okay, so this is the only they could possibly. So they played the Giants week 1, who sucked. Okay. They played the Bills week 2, Vegas. Yeah, they week 2 onward. They played the Bills, lost. Vegas lost. The Colts is a loss. Washington, who knows? The Colts the Texans, Kansas City,
At
Denver,
Kansas City.
yep, Green Bay, Cincinnati.
At Green Bay. At the Eagles is not an easy
At
deal.
all. The Chargers. Oh, Dallas?
Yeah. At the Chargers, too.
And this is the thing. They could easily blow one of those easy games like the Houston Texans Jags games. And you saw the other teams I pointed, like the Eagles and all those are L's.
Yeah.
You feel me? Like you know what it is.
Think about the AJ Brown revenge at the Eagles. He's going to go nuts.
From a man watching at the gym, my man AZ, I've been hopping back in the gym. My man is a huge Eagles fan. He rock the Eagles mask.
Okay.
When I comment, brother, you better go to some goddamn games this year. All right, because I've been a Bucks fan. I'm not a bandwagon. Z already knows, you know what I mean? Me and him used to work in the office. Like, yo, how do you like the fucking Bucks? They suck. You know what I mean? Clowning me and all of this and that. And I was like, okay, I still rock my Bucks. You know what I mean? That's all good. But once we got Tom Brady, man, them motherfuckers couldn't tell me shit. You know what I mean? But yeah, if you're an Eagles fan, this is gonna be an exciting season for you guys, man. And I love going to Philly. I love traveling. I love the Philly fans. You guys are funny, man. You guys are funny. I went to the playoff game when you guys played Bucks wild card. Well, no, divisional. Or was it wild card? And when in Tampa, man, those sports bars, you guys sitting there fighting, scaring the old ass people of Tampa, Florida, AZ. Hey, this is funny as shit. So me and my boys at the sports bar, local sports bar out there, and you know how Philly fans are. They were loud, you know. Once they get drunk, standing up, this little old white guy and his wife just trying to get out the sports bar. Big black dude stands in front of him. You know what I mean? Like just sitting there clowning them. You know, hey, where the fuck your old ass going? Like I'm just like, wow. You know what I mean? Just take over the whole city.
Look, sounds like Philly. I know when I went to see the Steelers play there. There's no parking for visiting folks because all the parking you got to be season ticket holders. Of course, I didn't know that when I'm driving to the stadium. I'm like, where the hell do I park? So I'm riding around, my Steeler flag on my car. I'm trying to figure out where I'm going to park. And so I stopped to talk to an officer. He was like, oh, you got to park across the street at a public park. And it's a night game. You got to walk across to the stadium and then walk back across to this.
You got some heat on you.
And so I'm like, are you kidding me? So end up parking there. I was at the only stadium. I've been to games all over. Only stadium with no parking. And the worst thing is they have so much parking because they got the Sixers stadium arenas right there, and then they got the Eagles stadium. But all the parking lots they save for Eagle fans or season ticket holders. And so if you're not a season ticket holder and don't have a parking pass, oh no, you can't find parking anywhere near there.
Yeah, man. I mean, Philly. That shit is funny, man. But yeah, Tennessee. If you're a Titans fan, man, it's gotta hurt so bad. I don't think you guys understand how good Roger Scaffold is. Losing him, that's a huge piece, and then you lose your best wide receiver.
No, that's even bigger because Tannehill. I mean, A.J. Brown made him look good, bailed him out a lot.
Yes. So now it's like Derrick Henry. It's gonna be the same thing. It's and you know what the bad thing it is? It's gonna be Derrick Henry's. In my opinion, he's still the best running back in the league. I know Jonathan Taylor and all of this and that. And I love John. If we remember when we did the best running backs in NFL episode, I said watch out for this guy because I didn't want to crown him yet. Jonathan Taylor this season is going to be crowned as far and away the best running back in the NFL.
I think he's my favorite this year too. With that line, with a veteran quarterback,
because you can't.
This is going to be his year.
Because just think about it. Check this out. Well, you know what the teams did to the Colts last season? They put 8-9 people in the box, and they said, Carson Wentz, sir, you're going to have to beat us. You're going to have to beat us. Your sloppy ass, your no playbook reading ass is going to have to beat us, and you can't do it because you lost to Jacksonville and win and get a situation. But now you got Matt Ryan. You can't do that against Matt Ryan because he's going to pick his spots. He knows zone. He knows you can't hide. You can't. There's nowhere to hide because he's gonna find them. He's gonna unleash that. But I mean, that kind of wraps that up. That's good stuff, man. So that kind of wraps up our divisional stuff, man. Z, man.
So we're looking at recap Bills and Colts.
That's gonna be. Oh yeah, that was a recap, or what was it from a few years ago?
Well, no. So and they play each other in the season, so they play each other this year too. So just talk about our two favorites for the divisions. We'll see it on the field.
Yeah, I mean, I like it. I like it. And the odd thing about that, remember a few years ago when Phillip Rivers was playing with the Colts, they had a chance to beat Buffalo, and I think they were up on the road.
In Buffalo, yeah.
And a series of stupid going for it on 2-point conversions and shit like that made them lose. But I mean, we'll see what happens, man. But
not running the ball. Yeah, they've done some crazy things. That's. I mean, for this year, you got your stud in the backfield, man. Just ride him. They got a defense. Defense is gonna be solid. I like the Colts team. I really do.
I love it too, man. But yeah, I mean, we'll close out. I mean, you got any bets for the people? I don't really have much since.
No, yeah. So this week has been an empty week. Baseball, All-Star break, so no games really. Baseball comes back, and so.
Z, I say this, man. I know you ain't gonna say it, but the people that don't know, man, Z, I don't know if you're better at. You might be best. Your best bets might be baseball, bro. And I don't even bet baseball. Z will hit you up like, hey, you take this game. The same shit he says happens. Like literally everything. This pitcher's starting today. This motherfucker sucks. Bet the whole paycheck on them motherfucker. Like shit like that. Like, bro, I've heard, because my next door neighbor, when I used to live up the road, before I bought my house and stuff like that, he used to bet. He was like, I just bet baseball, I save all year round. Some of these pitchers suck. And he would really squeeze the shit out of these bad pitchers.
And
he would bet thousands of dollars.
Rate of return. People would not realize that the Baltimore Orioles have the biggest bang rate of return of any team in the first half of the season. Because if you bet them, I mean, they went on a streak where they won 14 in a row, but their money lines are, I mean, you're getting plus 250, and they never lose by more than 2. So take that plus 1.5 with the Orioles. They're losing 6-5. They lose by 1. You cash. I mean, they got a great bullpen. People don't realize it because it's the Orioles, and they're young, and they got the lowest payroll. But the 3 teams that, if you just blindly bet the Yankees, the Mets, and the Orioles, you will make money. And the Orioles are the one that people don't think about because everybody has ingrained in the mind that they suck. But especially the Orioles on the run line, which is plus 1.5. So saying that they'll lose by less than 2. They never lose by less than 2. They always fight to the end, battle, and they may lose, but they'll cover that run line for you, and you can cash.
Man, so they're like the MLB version of Teddy cover the spread. That's dope, though, man. But bro, I gotta crown you on that baseball. You are the king of baseball betting, though. I've never seen no shit like that.
It's gonna be interesting. So the next few weeks, so the Major League trade deadline is coming up, and so you got to pay attention. All these bum teams with good pitchers are going to be trading them, and so pay attention to who goes where, what happens with this trade deadline before, because things will change. Yeah. And so just pay attention to that, and just ride the wave. Ride the wave, cash them tickets. That's all you got to do. Ride the wave and cash them tickets.
For sure. And one of the reasons why I'm wearing this shit, like I said, you guys already know we don't really talk baseball on the show, but one of the reasons I'm wearing this shirt today, man, the boys been getting me that dough. I'll be wearing my little shit like, yo, they having a great season. I'm like, I know. It's very profitable too. Bank account looking nice. You know what I mean? Yeah. All bills is paid. You know, I'm able to do what I want now.
Yankee money. Now. Look, the money lines and the overs, they will bash and bash and get runs. Yeah. Don't overthink it, and just Yeah, baseball. If you pay attention, it's a day-to-day sport, and understand it's a marathon. It's 162 games, so you got to pay attention. You got to know who's resting. You got to know the lineups. Once you got that, kind of get your pattern, you can make some money.
Yeah, man. I mean, like I said, good way to call it, man. But you definitely been high with the MLB. But like I said, I mean,
New York, and Baltimore.
And
Baltimore,
man. So East Coast, baby. But that kind of close.
Dodgers too. Dodgers never. If the Dodgers win, they win by the run line. So they're the other team. They say when they win by 2. They never win by 1. So don't take the crazy minus 300 money line. Just take a shot at the minus 1.5. You get plus money on it. I think 90% of their wins, they won by more than 2 runs. So take your shot.
Good stuff, man. Like I said, I don't really got much other than, once college football starts. But like I said, college football is going to be back, man. We'll chat
right around the corner. Right around the corner.
I cannot wait, brother, because I love college football.
Bama at Texas on campus, not at NFL stadium, not at a neutral site. It's the first time they've gone on
Does Texas have something for them, though?
Well, no, but it's the first time they've gone on site to a non-conference team on campus. Saban always plays these games at like the Georgia Dome or whatever, NFL giant stadium. So it's a neutral game. But I think he was Sarkisian, former Alabama coach. Let's give him the spark of giving him a home game. Bama at Texas in Austin.
I got to see how Texas is looking, man. I mean, do they really – because Bama is always a juggernaut. I know Texas is supposed to have a really good quarterback. I've heard about that.
I think it's going to be blowout. Bama by 21.
Yeah.
I mean,
yeah.
I'm just saying it's a fun game with a fun atmosphere and it's a party. But
oh, yeah. Oh, wait, well, everybody knows that. Alabama's like –
smacks it.
I mean, it's just like name your price. They're just going to go out there. They're going to smash you in the mouth. They're going to give you some hope, and then they're just going to run the ball down your fucking throat because they're bigger, stronger, faster, and they're better coached, and they're getting paid. These guys got, stuff on the line now, man.
And then Bryce Young back, Heisman Trophy winner. So you got a returning quarterback.
Man, Bryce Young, I'm happy. First of all, I'll say this. I'm happy for these guys getting, some of this money. And then also, I'm not pointing out guys, but, from what I'm hearing about these guys that are getting these big NIL deals, they're giving it away to some of their teammates. And like I said, I'm not airing guys out. I'm not airing guys out and saying who's who, but it's legitimate, factual information, and I'm not airing people out. It's not nobody that you've seen on the show, so you can guess all you want. But I know people that, like I said, that I'm not going to speak up on the show that I know facts about that these guys that are getting paid these big NIL deals are giving some of that money away to their teammates, that are, that also should reap the benefits of it. So that's.
Did you see the thing this week? Texas Tech. Every player on the football team is getting $25,000 from some company.
There you go. And that's
even the walk-ons. They said everybody.
Yeah. It just goes to show you. But Texas football is different. Texas football, Florida football, all these guys, it's a little different out there, man. But I'm happy for these guys, that are finally getting paid, and all these coaches, man, that some of these guys hate it. But I'm happy for these guys. Hopefully we'll move closer to all these guys getting paid. But college football is coming up, man. Next show, we're going to be talking about Z-Man. I know you're going to bring out the Steelers stuff, man. So it's AFC North. We're going to break it down. Z, we're going to let you have your Steelers.
I'm fired up for this season because first season without Ben. So it's the first season of unknown. And I've never gone into a Steelers season with a quarterback position unknown. And so that's going to be it's basically to be determined. Everybody who says they think they know. All I say right now, that Steeler line in Vegas, the win total 6.5, bet that over. Tomlin has never had a losing season. Ain't no way in hell they win in 5 games this year. So to me, I mean, as soon as I saw that 6.5, I was like, "Oh my God! Thank you for the gift. Let's go."
Yeah, I think their offense is going to give them in some position. They'll definitely win over 6 games because even though I hate Mitch, but
he had a winning season with Duck Hodges. Just let that sit.
I can't see that. Like I said, I hate Mitch so bad, but I cannot see the Steelers just winning under 6 games. I can't see it. Because like I said, they'll mess around and like I said, Mitch Trubisky will mess around. They'll mess around and beat the Ravens like 20-19. They'll mess around and beat the Bengals like 17-13 or some shit. TJ might have like 4 sacks and a touchdown or some shit. Like it's shit like that.
That's the key. No turnovers, and that's what I'm watching in preseason. I don't care about all the other stuff. Just watching his turnovers. If he don't turn the ball over and just manages the offense, they got a shot because they got a coaching edge to me. And I love Brian Flores, a motivated Brian Flores trying to be a head coach again, running that defense. Let's go.
That's for damn sure, man. But like I said, good episode, Z, man. Like I said, we're back. Like I said, make sure you like, comment, and subscribe to the channel, man. Again, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, the YouTube channel, on Instagram, man. Give us a follow. Like I said, all the stuff's at the bottom of the information portion of the show, the details. Like I said, create that BetUS sportsbook account. Like I said, we're talking sports betting, man. We're trying to help you guys. I'm telling you. I'm not just saying that. You know what I mean? Like, just listen to what we're saying. Look at our track record. Look at who's called what, and you should see no lies. Like, I'm not saying we're 100% right all of the time, but if I had to give, honestly, our percentages, we're probably I don't know, man, like 80%.
Even if you win 60% of your bets, you're making a lot of money.
But bro, we're clearing that with ease.
Yeah, you're gonna throw in some of the plus money bets that are just absolutely beautiful.
Well, I think we're clearing that with ease. I'll say I don't really. I track me and your bets a lot. Like Jay kind of does his own thing. Like me and you talk all the time about sports. Jay kind of does his own thing because Jay does other stuff. But I write our stuff down. Like I don't really know. There's not many games that I'm like, man, we really fucked that one up. You know what I mean? This is just like constant, like, man, we always win. It's like easy. It's smooth. But like I said, yeah, create that BetUS Sportsbook account, man. Promo code to the game. And then, like I said, simply 8 vitamin gummies, man, for the people that are in the gym. This is the B complex, the multivitamins, man. The promo code is going to be changed. I'm back now. But yeah, man, I mean, like I said, there's a lot of good information. Like I said, thanks for tuning in with us. There's a lot more to come. There's more guests to come. We'll probably be giving away. We'll actually probably give away, man. We'll give away something. We haven't given away nothing yet, man, to our loyal fans. So we'll probably, me, Big Z, and Jay will probably put something together, and maybe give away the new Madden game. I'm giving out. Me and you actually just talking about the ratings before the show with. What, TJ being a 96 or something and Miles Garrett 99, right?
99. Garrett is a 99. TJ is 96.
Yeah, man. So Madden's coming out.
The crazy thing, if you look at even the Vegas odds, so Vegas, they have Miles Garrett is the favorite to lead the league in sacks, but when they have the totals, they have TJ's total at over 13.5 and Miles' total at over 12.5. So I'm like, wait a minute, why they those two don't correlate when you look at how they set it up? Because, hey, I'm pumped for the season. I'm excited.
I'm just happy football's back, man. I ain't gonna lie to you, man. Like,
so the next thing, I mean, we just got to hear about the Watson deal. The judge got to make her decision pretty soon.
And we heard what Watson said. Watson said if he's suspended the whole NFL season, he's gonna sue.
Yeah, NFL Players Association got his back. Usually they don't.
Yeah.
But
there's no way you can suspend him the whole fucking season. There's no way.
You can't do 6 games either. I mean, Brady got what? 6 games for Deflategate, and you're going to give Watson the same thing? How about Calvin Ridley got the whole season for betting?
But that's different, though.
Two parlays. 2 parlays.
Hey, Z, I'll say this. The Calvin Ridley, it was a little bit more than that. The media only releases so much.
I kept thinking, he did 2 parlay bets and he got the whole season. And Watson sitting here, they talking about might be 4 to 6 games. Or no, they're saying 2 to 6 games. If it's 2 games, the world there's gonna be protests every week.
Yo, and I'll say this about sports betting, guys. You guys are gonna have to really, really watch. Especially, it's gonna really watch it in college football.
Yeah.
Really watch it because these, like I said, all of these guys not getting paid big. Some of these, I hate to say it, some of these guys might fuck around and throw some games now. I'm just telling you, don't sit there and just be like, no. Ron don't know what he's talking about.
Did you see the Arkansas coach, the SEC media?
He's telling you. Yeah. Well, no, what'd he say?
Reporter told him, your team was 16-3, covered the spread the last 2 years. And he was like, go Hogs. He's like, what was that? Could you repeat that? 16-3, covered the spread the last 2 years. The coach said, go Hogs. Let's go. I was like,
I'm just saying now. I'm just saying.
Took my notebook out. Arkansas to cover the spread. Let me put that in my notes real quick.
This is another legal way to make big. You don't have to be a drug dealer anymore. You don't have to be a hitman anymore. You don't have to shake your ass for cash anymore. All you have to do is sports bet. All you have to do is create a BetUS sportsbook account. You know what I mean? And get this money. Like I said, you don't have to do these things anymore, man. If you find somebody. Like I would say that I wouldn't even go so far to like this is a pod. We're not major network, so I can say this. If I were a female that would do anything for cash, I would follow one of these players around. Like, baby, can you throw this game tonight? I took out a loan for $300,000. Okay, please just throw this fucking game for me. And I'm telling you, he might even do it. You know. Yo, I'm just telling you, like the way Instagram is nowadays, and social media, and the way these guys get around the city and all of this and that, man. There's no telling what's gonna happen. There's no telling, man.
Did you see? I forget. This week there was a unidentified GM who, when they were talking about the draft, he said he drafted a worse wide receiver than. A better player was taking 6 picks after him, and they took the worst player because they had heard that the player that was the better player loved to party till 3-4 o'clock in the morning on Saturday and then have the game on Sunday. And he was like, after the season happened and they're looking at the guy's rookie year last year, he said, well, the reason we did that, he said, I'm not worried about that dude. That dude can go party to 4 o'clock in the morning and then have his 150 yards receiving on Sunday, no problem. The issue was he gonna take 6 to 7 other dudes, and they gonna play like crap on Sunday and blow. Man, we gonna lose. I ain't drafted him. I took the player who we rated worse than him at that position. We drafted him, and he's been good. And I was like, oh my gosh, that's crazy. But yeah, they look at all these things.
Yeah, they do look at all these things. Like I said, it's like sports betting has opened up so many doors. Like I said, I know so many guys now, and I'm happy for some of the guys that do it the right way. They're making good money now, man.
You remember the hockey game where they had reported that Tampa was playing was the Florida Panthers in the NHL playoffs, and the Florida players were partying at a strip club till 5 a.m, and somebody took pictures and posted them. Maybe these mugs were drunk, partying till 5 a.m. And then I went hammered Tampa the next day. They smashed him and beat him the next day. I'm like, wow.
That's another angle. That's another angle. That's another angle of sports betting.
Just pay attention.
Pay attention. I'm telling you, if you really follow this shit, this can literally be your job. This is like me and Z kind of work this shit as a second job, and we got well-paying, jobs. We do well for ourselves. Okay, outside of this, we don't have to do this. We do this kind of for fun. You know, I mean, we're kind of set. We're pretty solid. But man, it's just a lot of fun. Like I said, I love talking with you guys. I love talking with the athletes. I love talking with the coaches. It's gonna be a fun season, man. So like I said, we're gonna get out of here, man. Like I said, make sure you like, comment, subscribe. Give us a follow on IG. Jay will be hopefully back next show, man. A lot of shit going on this season, but very happy to be back, man. And thanks for tuning in. But we'll see you next show, man. Peace.